Check, check, check. All right, we are live. What's up, everyone? Just wanted to do a quick update today. Check. Oh, I just have my screen. Never mind. Anyways, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to do a quick update on the track we worked on the other day. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I did a video just a couple days ago. It's actually a live stream. So if you're on my channel, you can probably find it here. It's this video here, Dark DnB start to finish. Just go into my channel and look for Dark DnB start to finish. So we worked on a live drum and bass track the other day, and I created a drum break from scratch and then worked on some pretty nasty neural wobble bass sounds. And it was a 2-hour session, and we were on a roll. We were catching a vibe, but then I had to end it because I had to head out to go out and meet my date, which went really well. We had Japanese souffle. It was a nice afternoon, and then I came back after the date just dying to work on this track, and then I perfected it. There were a few things that we left off on the stream that just didn't sound right with the bass line. However, I think I figured it out. So I just wanted to do a quick update on this track to show you where the track is. I'm quite excited about it. I'd say it's about 80% done. It still needs a lot of work. The intro needs a bit more work. Some of the bass phrases perhaps needs a little more work to get rid of the repetitiveness. However, I think the track really has come a long way since our last stream. So let's just get right into it, and I'll show you what I did to the track. So for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, this is the track. I'll just play a quick preview of the drop here. All right, so that's pretty much the track, and we'll just go through a quick review of what we did. So we came on with a pretty sick drum break. So what I did was we have a single hit, some kicks here, so nothing special. And we have this nice snare that I found from the new Noisia pack on Splice. Pretty cool pack. And then we had some, I think I had some hi-hats here. Now, the thing that really brings this break together is that we used addictive drums to create the drum break. So we have addictive drums here, and it's playing using this United Pop kit. So let me just play this up kit on its own. So that's all it's playing. It's playing some hi-hats, some kicks, and some fills. But it's actually not playing the main snare because a lot of new modern drum and bass, we would like to make room for that main snare. So instead of layering a bunch of snares together, which kind of cloud and clutter up the mix, we make space for our snare to take the entire spotlight. So that's why with this break here, which I programmed with addictive drums, I've muted the main snares. Having the kicks is okay because the kicks give a bit of dirt to our kick. And what I did was I actually added some distortion on this drum break. So without riff, you have it sounding like this. And I also have some EQing. So I boosted some of the mids and highs and then sculpted out the bottoms. Because since we have a kick, we already have a main kick. So with this kick, with the addictive drums, I'm sculpting all the lows so it doesn't get muddy and mixed up with our main kick. So that's one strategy you can use and employed to so that if you have two kicks layered, get rid of the bottoms off that second kick so your frequencies aren't conflicting with each other. So that's what I'm doing here. So I have both effects grouped on the bottom here. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'll just do a zoom. So what I did is I grouped the Pro Q3, which is the EQ here, and the distortion as a group, because then I can turn it on and off as a whole, and I can see if it's actually benefiting the sound, right? So I'm EQing and then I'm adding distortion. So without both effects, this is how the drum break sounds. And then here it is with the EQing and distortion. You notice it sounds a lot more present and crisp. I intentionally boost up the highs and mids so it sounds more crisp. I'll turn off the distortion for now so you can just hear it with the EQ, and then we can bypass the EQ on and off so you can hear it with it on and off. So I'll just doing this will just turn it on and off. So look for the visual cue. You see how I removed the bottom end from the kicks. I boosted up the mids and highs. The mids is so that those ghost snares get picked up, and the highs here at 5100 is to make those hi-hats sound more crisp. And then I added riff to crush it. So that sounds a bit more warm and crunchy for that analog sound. So then when you layer it with the main kicks and snares, then you have this. Oh, let me just... Doesn't that sound tight? So let me mute the addictive drums. Sounds much more like a break and very cohesive with all those layers together. Another really cool thing I added, the first and foremost, is the worm break. So if you're not familiar with the worm break, I believe is a break by Jimmy Cliff. Don't quote me on it. I use this break all the time, but I should know the names. But the worm break, which is used a lot by Ed Rush and Optical, listen to their house, their track Rock the House, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But the worm break is pretty much these hits. What makes the worm break really stand out is this hit on Splice 7. I believe that's either a rim shot or a cowbell. So this cowbell sounds amazing when you put it on a ghost hit. So listen to it carefully. First, I'll mute this guy. Notice how funky it is when you add this little slice in, and you can experiment with the position of this little worm piece here. Some of the time, what I've noticed with Ed Rush and Optical, they like to put it off the grid. So something like this sounds super funky, or something like this over here. Because if you put it here, it swoops into the kick. Because the kick, if I just highlight the kick, let me see if I can. Yeah, so now I've highlighted. So the kick is here. This hit is the kick, right? So notice the position of the kick in relation to Splice 7 of the worm break. So the closer it is, it swoops into that kick. Or if you put it closer to here, it's a completely different vibe. However, I just chose this more standard route. I just wanted a more on the grid sound for this particular track, but those off the grid positions are super great and groovy. And then I found this tambourine loop that goes well. Tambourine loops or any fast percussion are an easy way to change up the track after 16 bars. Yeah, I'll find you the link for the worm break. I think it's in my breaks folder. If someone can post it in the boxes. You can also find the worm break on Rhythm Lab, I believe. I'll try to find it in a moment. And then finally we have I fixed up the bass sound. So let's zone in on the bass sounds here. So I made this with Vital. Essentially what it's doing is it's playing 3 different waveforms here, and it's using this LFO1 to make that gunk 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 sound. And then there's a slower LFO that slowly increases the filter cutoff. So that's where the intensity increases as the wobble progresses. And just so you don't get confused, there's a number of bass sounds here. So I'm talking about this one here. There's also a noise layer that's playing with the wobble. Without it, it's just like this. But adding that wave, that noise, just makes it sound more percussive. You notice how it sounds more percussive now. Okay, and then I have a number of call and response bass sounds here. There's this growl bass sound here. This growl bass sound is again using Vital. What I did was I took the same preset with the wobble. I made this kind of wub wub bass, so you can see the 2 wubs here. I removed some of the I removed the noise layer for a more pure sound with this one. And then I duplicated it so that you can see here there's growl 1, 2, 3 here. This one here. All I'm doing is I've changed the LFO setting. There's 3 wubs now. And then finally there's a 3rd one over here. And again, it has 3 humps here, except I changed the timing. So I'm using the seconds timing. So it's a bit offbeat. Sometimes it's nice to have the wobbles a bit offbeat, so it sounds a bit funkier, right? So I have 3 variations of this growl, which is a call and response to the main wobble. You have that one. Right, and that gives you nice variation for your 16 bar phrase. So this section I have highlighted is 16 bars. You have the main wobble here at the top here that's playing the long note, and the growl at the very first beat changes up every 4 bars, and that's a cool way to keep the bass moving and keep the vibe going, right? So I have it changing like that. If you want to know about the sound design of this growl, it's 3 waveforms. It's 1 waveform at the bottom playing the bass note. Let me just zone in on this one here. So the main waveform is playing the sub bass. And then I have this number 2 cardboard. Has a bit of a high kind of FM kind of screechiness to it. And then I have this one layering at 31 semitones above, so that's playing a perfect fifth. And that's what's making that kind of Ed Rush optical, old school growl sound. It's kind of like that talking bass. Tons of distortion. The distortion being modulated by the same LFO as well. So that's pretty much this growl sound. And then what I did is you'll notice through the progression, the wobble changes up. So every 16 bars, the wobble changes. So let me just show you what's happening here. So the main wobble, this one here, so that's with all three waveforms, right? What I did was after the first 16 bar, I then used this one, which only has the high tone. So what I'm doing is I muted oscillator 2 for the second one. I also muted the noise. And then at the final 16, so my body is 3 blocks, 3 16 bar sections. The final one, I keep the bottom, I keep the mid, I keep the noise. So it sounds like that. So now I have 3 different wobbles, which make it easier, make it more interesting as the track progresses. That's pretty much it. I have this little, this sound from Alev Lens. So Alev Lens is a sample library from Spitfire, which I was using. It was the sponsor of the last stream. This is a pretty cool library with some drone sounds for dark atmospherics. And what I did was, I'll just show you the basic sound. So that's the basic sound, right? Essentially, it's a vocal pad. Someone commented that the sub bass sounded like Ed's solo sub bass. Definitely has that kind of vibe. It's kind of like a square wave. We'll come back to it in a bit. But yeah, that's the vocal stab from Alev Lens. If you're interested in grabbing this, you can find the links down below. However, what I did was I then added a volume shaper for that side chaining. And then I added thermal. The thermal just distorts the pad a little. It makes it sound a bit more aggressive. And then Portal is a granulizer, so it completely changes up the preset. So now you kind of have a horror movie stab sample that created simply by applying this Portal on the sound. And then I experiment, so it's just simply playing one note, right? F2, but then I experiment with playing it completely different, higher note. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's what I did. I fine-tuned the track and have this arrangement done. So I'll play you the track. Again, I think it's like 75 to 80% done. I probably need to do a little more work to take out some of the repetition with the bass. Make the intro a bit more interesting. I'm thinking about adding a vocal in the intro possibly, but you let me know how this sounds, what you think it needs, and we'll take it from there. All right, so that was pretty much the track. Probably need to do a little more work to build a little more story and add a little more dimension to the track in terms of additional sounds, additional atmospherics, maybe some subtle automation to create more movement as the bass line progresses. But I think the track is pretty much there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. By the way, for those of you looking for the worm break, I did just post it into the live chat. I will post it in the description later once I archive this stream. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what how the track came along, and enjoyed making the track with you guys live the other day. If you haven't seen a stream, you can find that one, Dark DnB start to finish, on my YouTube channel. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We'll see if I can do a stream on New Year's Eve, but at least I wanted to touch base with you guys today before festivities tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Also, if you guys want to support, be awesome if you can check out my online shop. I have a number of packs you can pick up. You can pick up any of my packs down in the links below. The OG Jungle sample pack has been quite popular if you want more jungle samples. Roller's Break has been awesome for modern drum and bass. Flow Anastasia also has a sample pack with us, and she has some awesome vocal samples and acapellas which you can use in this pack. Of course, a number of other packs, Wubs and Wobbles, Gnarly, Jungle, Liquid. You find them all down in the links below. If I'm not able to stream tomorrow, I hope you guys have a good New Year's Eve celebration. Remember to party safe, responsibly, and because we want you around in the new year to make some amazing music and make some amazing progress. We've had an amazing year this year. I've had an amazing year. It's an amazing year doing this with you guys, and it keeps getting better every year, and let's make next year even better. So until then, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll try to step in tomorrow if I can. If not, I'll see you guys in 2023. Until then, all the best. Peace.